There we go. Trying to figure this mess out. I don't know why it's acting funny. Hold on. All I was trying. Oh, guess I hit the wrong button. No wonder. Invite clip. Let's see comments. Don't want to do that. Some destinations won't get comments. Mm-hmm. How do you do that? Why is it not letting me put the comments in there? What up? What up? I'm trying to put the comments in there, but it won't let me. Trying to figure out why is that. Why is it tripping with the comments? What up? I see you. It won't let me put I see you, Sweet Berry. What up? I'm trying to figure out why it won't let me put the freaking comments in there. I see your comment, but I can't put mine in there. What is wrong with this thing? I got the banner in there. Brand. What up, Sweet Berry? What's going down? Hell, I can't figure out how to do it. I don't know what's wrong with it. Normally, I could put it in there. Let me see. What else do I have to do? Layout. Hmm. Not really sure why I won't let me do it. My bedtime. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's old. It's later over there. That's right. Yeah, you're right. I had a pretty easy day today, so that's why I said let me come on and give people a video. Last night I wasn't feeling it. The last couple of days I was getting my rest in because I broke down on the road. So during the storm, right after the accident, I drove a little bit, and in the truck, something something snapped in the. What did the mechanic say? He said something snapped on the battery cable or something. So that's why I ain't had no power. So I had to abandon the truck on the side of the road because I had no power, so I couldn't put my blinkers on, nothing, right? And it broke down on the highway on a stretch of road where there was no lights, period. So I was like, man, I got to get out of this truck. Excuse me. It's nothing but ice on the road, and all I need is for somebody to slide off and hit me. So you know me. I waited a few minutes, couldn't start it. So I got on the phone and hit 911, called the state police, and told them, can they send out a trooper to come get me? I need to go about 5 miles to the next town, and I already booked a room at the Super 8. So they didn't come fast enough to my liking. So I called the freaking sheriff department. Yeah, I called the sheriff department in that town and talked to dispatch, and they said they was going to dispatch a deputy to come get me, but they was going to contact the state police first to see if they had dispatched somebody. And they said if they did, then they wouldn't come. So I'm like, hey, whoever gets to me first, I don't give a damn. So the state police ended up getting to me first. I ain't gonna lie, I was so glad to see that albinoid devil. What up, peace, peace, D Street, peace and hair grease, baby. What's happening? Yeah, I was so happy to see that albinoid devil. Man, shoot, I gave him a fist bump, a dab. I would have shook his hand if I wasn't worried about COVID. And he dropped me on off at the Super 8. Shout out to him. You dig? Coming to my aid and assist. Left that sucker on the side of the road. Sure did. And I was at the hotel for like 4 or 5 days. I was gonna give y'all a video, but I was enjoying my little time to relax. I enjoyed it. So I was like, man, I get him a video when I get back on the road. And so today is my second day back on the road. Yesterday I was too busy trying to get on down here to Arkansas. And now that I'm here, I'm about maybe 20 miles from where I'm supposed to be tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Offload my load and then get my butt back to the Chicagoland area so I can be off for the weekend. Yep. Yeah, I'm okay. Like I said, I know what to do. If the truck break down and I'm on the side of the road, I'm not near a major city, but they didn't have no Uber service, no Lyft, no none of that, no taxi service. But I look, I don't have no problem calling the state police. So will, because I'm legitimate and a legitimate tax paying citizen. So they gotta come. You dig? So I know that. So I call him and I make him seem like I got hazmat on my truck, whether I have hazmat or not. You know, I say I'm a hazmat driver, which I am, but sometimes I got hazmat, sometimes I don't. But I don't tell them that. When I just say I'm a hazmat driver, they just assume that I got hazmat. So that gives them a sense of urgency to come get me. You know what I mean? And I finally found a tow truck that was willing to tow me. So they towed me to the Lubs at the next exit, which was only 5 miles. And that was a $1,400 tow, just to give y'all a sense of what stuff be costing out here. It was $1,400 to go 5 miles. Yep. And then took care of that. And then I had to take care of the parts that was needed for the repair, which was about $300. And then to do everything, it was another, let's see, 300, and they charged me another 550 in labor and additional parts. So altogether it was like almost 900 plus the $1,400 tow. Yep. And then I had to add in it was 5 days, 5 days hotel at $100 a night. So that's how much this breakdown cost me, just for the folks out there that think um that we need their money. They understand we out here doing big trucking things. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, crazy, crazy. What up, Nordic Great? I see you. You dig? And chat, what you going to bed in a second? Yeah, well, yeah, she said it's her bedtime. Must be nice. Is that what they say? Must be nice. Ah. So yeah, we got that out the way, and now we back on the road making money. So it is what it is. What they say, you gotta pay the cost to be the boss, you know? But I've been paying attention to the news and what the difference a few days make, people. Shout out to the Freedom Convoy up there in Ottawa, you know. But it's getting ready to be I think they're getting ready to try to crack down on them. I heard the little guy, Trudeau, demonizing them, setting the stage to allow them to be heavy-handed with them, calling them insurrectionists. What? That was a term I heard. I heard treason. I heard what else did I hear? Uh, uh, they got the city under siege, all kind of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I figured the demonization was coming, and then it just employed. I heard 300. I don't know what they say. I guess it's federal troops to descend on the city, along with the additional police, and so I guess they finna try something. And I also been hearing they talking about a internet outage in that city. So I think when they do the internet outage in that city, um, that's when these federal troops are basically gonna descend on the Freedom Convoy. So I think that's what's happening. They don't want people to see how heavy-handed they're gonna be. They already have been over there stealing fuel because because I thought about that. I'm like, damn, if they're gonna be there for 7, 8 days and it's 21 below up there, they're gonna have to keep getting fuel. So people have been going to the fuel places with wheelbarrows and just filling up like uh 5 gallon uh gas cans, I guess, or diesel cans, and they was bringing them to the truckers, and they was putting them in the trucks to keep it moving, to keep the be able to keep them running so they can have heat or whatever. And of course, the Ottawa police was told to start confiscating those wheelbarrows full of those cans of diesel, basically stealing them because somebody else paid for the cans, somebody else paid for the diesel, and then they were bringing it to the truckers, and then they was commandeering that from those people. So I guess it was just people along. I don't know if it was actually truckers that was doing it, or was it people that was sympathetic to the cause that was doing that. But anyway, the police were confiscating those wheelbarrows, basically stealing it, right? So I knew that right there. Okay, yeah, they finna start all the federal shenanigans because it's making them look bad on the world stage. Plus, it's galvanizing other folks from other places that they need to do the same thing, that the truckers need to step up. Yep. So they've been talking about it in Australia. Finally, I was wondering when they were gonna wake up. Because I think they were just trying it in these smaller places first to see what would work and kind of iron out all the details before they brought it here to the good old snakes of America, Um, so they were trying it first in Canada, and then they tried it in Australia, New Zealand, and Germany, Austria. What else have I seen? I think it was one of them Czech republics or something, Yugoslavia, one of them places. They was trying it as well, and so now people have been seeing this freedom thing up there in Canada and have been getting inspired, and now they realize that, like, man, we're marching toward total. Uh, what do they call it? totalitarianism. So now people are starting to really push back, not only the truckers, but the general public. So now it's making them look bad on the world stage. So they got to do something. They got to do something, and it got to be heavy-handed to try to teach. We're gonna teach y'all a lesson. We we know it's supposed to be the power of the people, but we're gonna teach y'all what the real power is. So they finna try some. So y'all just get prepared. So they gonna come down hard on the truckers. I don't know what they gonna do, but it's whatever happens, we gonna know who's responsible. They're gonna blame it on the truckers. I already know that. You know. So shout out to them for standing up. And usually it's us here doing it, but hey, I don't have no problem taking it back seat to other folks stepping up and fighting for freedom. But I think they plan to do something similar here. I've been hearing. Uh, I don't know if it's going to take place or not, but we shall see. We shall see. What y'all been hearing out there? That's what I've been seeing. What y'all been seeing? What y'all been hearing? Y'all been hearing anything? What y'all been hearing? What y'all been seeing? I also saw that I guess it's the governor of New York. I didn't know they switched over already, but saying that they're rolling back the mandate on the mask in New York. So I think they're doing this preemptively to make sure that we don't feel the need to go ahead and start doing our own version of the Freedom Convoy here in America. That's what I think. Because it's kind of the timing is kind of suspicious that they're rolling back now the mandates. They're rolling back the mandate on the mask. All of a sudden, that ain't coincidental. When they do stuff, it's just strategized and strategic. So I think that is to kind of put our guard down because I guess they feel that they bit off more than they can chew. People are starting to wake up now, and they need us to go back to sleep. Yeah, they need us to go back to sleep. that that overreach has waking at least 30% of us up. 25, 30% of us are awake now. And it won't take much more. They keep pushing. It won't take much more for it to go from 25 or from 20 to 25% to 40%. And then once we got 51% that's awake or more, then we're gonna be asking for uh, all new faces in the government. That's what they're asking for down in Australia. They're getting ready to do a freedom convoy in Australia. I don't know if it's this week or next week. I think it's this week. And they're asking for everybody in the country to show up to their state capital, their country's capital. I heard the speech, and it was very moving. They said they want everybody to come and literally shut Australia down, the whole country. They plan on shutting the whole country down. I'm like, well, about God doggone time. Y'all can't say I ain't talked about it. Go back and look at some of my video. Y'all know I talked about it. Like, when they gonna wake up? And they feel they said that um, bring food, bring water, bring money, bring blankets, bring everything you're gonna need, and we plan to be there for as long as it takes for new elections. We want all new elections. We want everybody in parliament out of there, and we want to hold new elections. That's a hell of a statement. Wow, they gonna cut the communication. Yeah, they don't want the world to be able to see, right, what they're gonna do, so they could be in charge of the narrative when they come with the heavy hand. See, they're gonna blame it on the truck drivers, and if there's nobody there to see it, then you got to go with the state sponsored narrative, right? So if they say, oh, the truckers attacked us, so we had to do X, Y, and Z. See, nobody's to see it, so you got to go with the state sponsored narrative. So the truckers, at least they're aware of it, because I heard them talking about it during one of their meetings. So at least they know. But I don't know what they're gonna do about it. What are y'all gonna do about it? Because ain't no telling what they could do. They could do some, man. They could do some damage, because they got y'all all in there together. And if they shut down the internet, because he passed a bill to be able to shut down the internet. I don't know, was it last year or was it? Yeah, it had to be late last year. They did a bill up there in Canada where he has the power to do that. So they was already anticipating that eventually the people will want to stand up, right? And so they need to be able to block out the internet, so that way people can't be going live and all that, right? And televising and get to see them, right? When they pull the mask off and stop being nice, right? When they put their iron fist into the velvet glove, they're gonna take the velvet glove off and just come down with the iron fist. So they don't need everybody to see that. So they're looking like the bad guys, right? Which that would further galvanize the rest of Canada and the world against them. So they got to have a media blackout. So this is a real test. If they end up going down in Canada, then they're gonna say, okay, well, this is what we need to do around the world. Because you remember that I don't think they citizenry have weapons. I'm not sure, but they plan on doing the same thing in Australia. So it sparked the movement. So they gotta crush these people. They gotta crush them if they want to maintain the power grab that this new power grab. In order to keep it, in order to maintain it, they got to crush it, because now the Australians are going way past what the Canadians are doing. They saying we plan to go to the country's capital. The whole country is planning on doing this. I don't know how many people are going to show up, but that's what they're asking. And we're planning to be here for as long as it takes in order for us to get new elections. So basically, they want everybody out of office. That is huge. That's huge. So the globalists, they gotta come out of their bag now. They gotta pull the mask off. They gotta, because they can't let the world see and let this happen in Australia. They can't let this get out of control. They can't let this get out of control. So they already got the internet kill switches in pretty much every country, so they can kill the internet. Obama put it in for us. Yeah, y'all boy, Black Jesus, he put it in for us. So we have an internet kill switch law too. So, and every other country has it as well. So I'm waiting to see what's going to happen up there in Canada, and what's going to happen in Australia. Those are going to be the two major tests. It's a shame that it's those two countries and not here. It really should be us, because the Constitution that we have here, even though it's not, um, even though it's not, uh, what I want to say, mm, it's not the very best document in the world, but it's quite good. It's definitely better than the Constitution in Australia and in Canada. It's better than both of theirs. So the fact that our Constitution here is better and we allow way more freedoms, and the fact that we put up with this overreach because of the cold beer flu, right? We should have been in the streets first to show the world that we're pushing back on it, which would have gave them courage to push back on it. But of course, we've been just accepting it. And so they was going super duper hard in Canada and super duper hard in Australia. That's why I told you all before. Remember, we talked about this. I'm like, I ain't going to Canada. They out of their damn minds how they treat us at the border. I'm like, I'm not even finna waste my time with them people up there. They running rush shot over us when we go to the when we get to the Canada border. And you black? Oh my God. Yeah, you going through all kind of stuff. Hell, my guy went up there, you know, he not as conscious as me. So he going up there willy-nilly thinking, okay, he already counting his money, you know. He thinking like that. And he got up there and had some stuff on his record from when he was a juvenile. He like what me, he in his 50s. Uh hell, he had some stuff on his record when he was, I think he said juvenile or early young adult. And hell, they shit, they wouldn't let him in. And they rarely, even though we get stopped a lot, they rarely ever search. I think my truck has never been searched in the 12 years I've been on the road. Now, I've been stopped by the police quite a few times, but it was just minor things. You know, my light was out or my mud flap was hanging, you know, just stuff that they gave me warnings for. Nothing serious, but I've never been searched in my 12 years of trucking. Now, he been driving, I think, about 20 something years, right? He goes he goes up to the Canada border. Not only they don't let him in because of that stuff on his record that he thought was thrown out, they searched his truck. The Canadians searched his truck. Just want y'all to just pay attention to that. He didn't even get a chance to cross the border. They turned him around on the American side of the border, but the Canadians searched his truck. Ain't no way I would have let them search my truck. They'd probably end up taking me to jail. Now I could see if he made it to the other side of the border. Okay, cool. I'm on their side of the fence. I'm in Canada. I'm in their country, in their territory. Okay, yeah, it makes sense that they would search me. Okay, cool. I probably wouldn't have no problem with that. But the fact is that they turned him around on the American side and they searched his truck. I was like, what? And he was like, well, I ain't had nothing to hide. I'm like, with the fact, yeah, that's probably true. You ain't had nothing to hide, but still, I wouldn't let them. No, no, I wouldn't let them search my truck. Okay, cool. Y'all turn me around. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of Dodge, but I ain't gonna let y'all search my truck. I said they only did that because you black. I don't think if you was white, I don't think a white dude would have let them do that. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they would have let them search their truck, but I wouldn't let them search mine. And I'm not crossing the border. Y'all gonna you're gonna refuse me at the border, so now I can't take the load over. So if you refuse him at the border, he don't get that money. So you turn me around at the border, I can't cross. You search my vehicle, and I don't get paid for the load. Man, I'd have been on 10. They might have took their guns out the holster for me because I'd have been on 10. That means he had to take that load up there, unless, because I'm thinking, let me see. More than likely, He probably could have just dropped that load because he was right there in Detroit. Well, he probably could have dropped that load at a truck stop in Detroit, and they could have sent a driver that is good to be able to pass, and he could have came and rescued the load from him, and he still could have got partial payment. Because I ain't even asked him how did it. I was just so furious that they searched his truck, and we never did get to the point where what happened. Did he have to bring the load back, or did he get the load rescued from another driver that definitely has been in Canada numerous times? Because that's what I would have suggested. I would have said, well, I would drop it, and then somebody else could come in and rescue it from me and take it into Canada, and then I still could get some money. You know what I mean? As opposed to if you have to bring it back, then you won't get nothing because it ain't their fault that you can't get in Canada. You're supposed to know that before you accept the load. See, that's why when they call me, they'll call me and be like, "Hey, man, you wanna grab this load going up to I forgot what place they want to send me most of the time." And they were like, "Oh, it paid $10,000." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Of course, I'm thinking of how I'm gonna spend 10,000. I ain't even hung up the phone with them yet. I'm already thinking how I'm gonna spend the 10,000. Shit. I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." I'm already thinking how to spend the money before I even tell them can I take the load or not. But I know I can't get in, so I tell them, "Hey man, I don't think I can get in Canada, so no, I refuse the load." So because I'm a owner, we can refuse the loads. You ain't got to take the load. So I refused it, and I've been asked. Let me see, four four or five times I've been asked because they forget that I can't get in there. So it may go a few months, 5, 6 months, and then I get a load going up there and they're asking me again. "Hey man, we got a load going to Canada. You want to go?" Nope. Why not? I don't want to mess with Canada. They pay a lot of money. I don't care. I'm not going. You know what I mean? That way I don't have to rehash why I can't go. Because other than that, I have to rehash every time they ask me. I just refuse the load. And well, why you don't want to go to Canada? Because I don't like Canada. So that's basically what I've been telling them. So that's been working for me because I haven't had to go. And now they haven't even been calling me to go up there. So I'm cool with it. But just the fact that that freaking, what I'm saying, authoritarians, that they can pretty much do whatever the hell they want at the border. And they really heavy-handed when they see a black face show up. Every guy I know that's black had problems at that border. That same one there in Detroit. Yep, my boy from California before he passed away. God bless the dead. He went up there and they turned him around. He got into it with his first wife. She called the police and said that he hit her. He never hit her, but she was just upset or whatever. And eventually she dropped it. She dropped the charge because it basically was a lie. And so they didn't do anything. They just pretty much, I think, SOL'd it. Forgot what SOL means. And he thought since he didn't, it was thrown out or whatever, that it was off his record. He didn't know it was still on there. You got to go to court to have some of that stuff either sealed or somehow you got to have it expunged off your record. Even if it was thrown out, it's still going to be on your record. So here it is, all these years later, he married to another woman, second wife. He didn't got divorced and all that. Now he married to another woman. And then he gets the load to go up to Canada. Same way, they start telling us how much that shit pay. All we be thinking about is the money and what we can do with it. So he not thinking about it because he thinks the stuff that got thrown out. So of course it shouldn't be on his record, right? There's no reason to stop. He hadn't been in no trouble since, right? He gets the load. He goes up there. Sure enough, they turned his butt around, and he just happened to call me. And I'm talking to him, and I was wondering, like, man, why you sound kind of upset? He's like, yeah, man, I'll come up here. And, they turned me around for some stuff that got thrown out years ago. Like, and then he told me that. I'm like, yeah, I heard about Canada. They rough, especially rough on us. I don't know what it is. I guess they look at us as an easy lick. We got to basically comply with it, whatever they say, because we're trying to get that bread, you know. Now, I've heard of white cats. Now, here's the other thing I've heard. I heard of albinoid drivers go up there and they stuff not be right. They've been and done something, right? Got some on their record, but they'll let them pass and then tell them, get this straightened out, and even tell them how to straighten it out. This is what I've heard. Hey man, you got a petty theft. Maybe they stole some candy or something, or stole some, or did some shoplifting in their younger years. You know, stole something, got caught, and it wasn't nothing but a misdemeanor, and it was pretty much thrown out, right? But they never got it off their record. They go up to Canada, and for whatever reason, they can go back to when you was a child in Canada on that freaking computer, and they tell them, "Oh yeah, man, you got a shoplifting charge on your record way back when you was, you know what I'm saying, 18. You 59 now. You 59. This shit happened when you was 18. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been in no trouble since, right?" And so they pull that shit up from way back when, and but they still let them pass. Now, let us go up there with the same stuff. We getting turned around, and then tell them to go ahead and get that stuff off their record so they can come back and make money. See, they won't stop them when they making money, but they'll stop us because they know them Canada runs pay a nice, you know what I'm saying, pay a nice little piece of change. This is the stuff we have to put up with out here. You know what I'm saying? We do the same charge. Say we have a shoplifting charge, same scenario, 18, 19. They threw it out because it's just a little minor misdemeanor. You've been clean, no nothing on your record, right, for 30 some years. And you come up to Canada, they turn you around and tell you can't come in until you get this off your record. What? But that's why I was like definitely rooting for the convoy there in Canada. I'm 100% behind them. That's why I don't want to see nothing drastic happen, you know. And if something do happen up there, I know that it was the government's fault. They initiated it. Whatever happens in these next few days, it's gonna be the government's fault. They're gonna instigate it. They're gonna initiate it. And they're gonna turn around. I can already tell you the narrative. They're gonna blame it on the truckers because they already been demonizing them in the press. They got basically state sponsored press there now because Trudeau gave them a bunch of money to the news organizations and some type of grant. All that did was so they could be on the board with the state, so giving them the coverage that they need, because they need that propaganda wing. That's basically like the fifth part. Like in our case, that's the fourth part of government. You know, you got the judicial, the legislative, the executive, and you got the media. So we got four branches of government here. And it's the same way with them in Canada. That's why he gave them all that money. I forgot how many billions he gave them. So now they don't have to care about ratings. They don't have to care about what the listener, what they want. They don't have to care about none of that. They don't have to care about the ratings, what kind of programming they put up there, and see if we like it or not. They don't have to worry about that because guess what? They got funding from the state. So now anything they say is going to be pro-state, 100%. Yeah, if you think I'm lying, go look it up. Everything I'm telling y'all, you can look it up. For folks who don't be paying attention to how the world actually works. Some people don't want to know because they feel like it's too complicated to figure out how the world actually works. No, it's in your best interest to understand how it works, so you can move properly, right, in the world and don't get caught up in this foolishness. Because it's catching a lot of people up. That's why I say once my guy told me that he couldn't get in, Then my other guy couldn't get in. I'm like, oh yeah, why would I go to Canada? I know I ain't gonna be able to get in. Hell with that. I don't want to go up there. Nope. Sorry. Right. And at the same time, now they want to start rolling back the restrictions here in America. So I think what their feel the sentiment is, hey, we're feeling the pulse of the people and we don't have the moral authority no more. So we got to start rolling back some of this stuff and easing. So basically they're gonna ease up on everything, right? And so they're gonna give us a sense of normalcy, and then they're gonna fire something else up. They ain't done with us. They're not done with us. They just easing up because they see the whole world is starting to wake up, and they're waking up too many people because of the overreach. So I don't know. They got to have another contingency. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know if they ease up all the restrictions, ease up the mandate, ease up the mask, right? Slow down on the uh, the V passport to travel. If they roll all that back, what would be the next shoe to drop? I would think if it was me and I was head of the new order, I would say, yeah, ease up the restrictions, right? It's just me talking. If I was ahead of the new order, what I would do if it was me, that's what I'm trying to just think of how they think. I would ease up the restriction now that I see the world is starting to wake up to, right, what's really going on, the tyranny that's taking place. They're waking up to it, and we don't want to wake up the full population. So right now, it's just a minority percentage of the population that's woke. So what I would do, right, I would this is gonna sound diabolical, guys, but y'all just hear me out. Now, this is kind of how I be thinking when I'm out here on the road, just driving because I got plenty of time on my hand, right? So my mind just be active and just be thinking. So I would loosen up all the restrictions, no mask, no V card, no mandate, right? And I would give it a sense of a few months for it to be just everything that kind of died down, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a new variant would hit that's 5 or 10 times stronger than the cold beer flu. That's what I would do. I would come out with the big boy, right? Right. That's what I would do. I'll come out with the big boy, and of course, that will put everybody back in fear again. Then they can come right back in with the mandate, mask, all that stuff. What y'all think? Y'all think I'm on base? That's what I would do if I was them. That's what I would do because they don't want to lose. You know, they don't want to lose the power that they didn't gain from this. So how do you keep your gains? Because now it's getting down to a war of, as my man said, it's getting down to a war of inches. So now if we're gaining now in inches, how do they get it back? See, they got to get it back. They can't allow us to win because they're not going to give up. We still don't know who they are. We still don't know, right? We still ain't got no indictments. We still ain't got uh uh no grand juries, right? Nobody's went to jail. So we ain't won nothing. Even if they do roll back the stuff, we ain't won nothing because the people who perpetrated this, somebody said, I think that was on OEN News, one of them Newsmax, one of them, they called it Scamdemic. I said, man, that's a catchy name. I like that. Scamdemic. You know, in order for us to have some real victories, we need some people to go to prison over this scamdemic. Okay. They got indemnity, what is it called? Indemnity, right? The pharmaceutical giants have indemnity clauses. I don't know if y'all know what that is. Who know what that is? We got some smart people over here. Who know what that is? Indemnity. Don't ask me to spell it. They have this clause, right? Who knows what it is? Anybody? Who knows what that is? Indemnity. Don't look it up either. I know y'all like to cheat. Y'all like to cheat out there. You know what I'm saying? Google is your friend. Y'all always hear me saying that. Google is your friend. But I just want to know if y'all know what it is without looking it up. You need to know what it is. Nobody? Nobody knows what it is. I'm shocked. That's why y'all need me in the movement. That's why y'all need me, because I pay attention to this type of stuff. Oh, there we go. That's exactly what it is. Scam. Yeah, the scamdemic. Exactly. But indemnity. Anybody know what it means? I think it's IDEMITY. I might be off with my spelling. I guess nobody said nothing. Anybody. Don't look it up either. Totally free from being sued. There you go. You must have looked it up, Sweet Bear. It took too long to answer. So I'm gonna assume you looked it up. Yes, that's correct. Indemnity means that no matter what happened to anybody that took the squirt, took the jab, whatever happened, uh, adverse reactions, you cannot sue the manufacturer of the jab. That's what it means. So if you get Bell palsy, if you get myocarditis, if you get blood clots, um, if you get paralyzed, if you have problems with your nervous system, if your immune system is compromised by taking it, right? You cannot sue. They are totally free, right, of liability. That's what it means. So that's why I wouldn't take it, because of that. Now, if they had if they didn't have that clause, because when you all sign, well, for you all who have taken it, no judgment, no shade on y'all. You know, took it because you felt that was the best thing. Cool, I ain't got no problem with that. That's what me. I'm more of a researcher. That's why I say don't let the truck fool y'all. Don't let the fact that I come from the streets fool y'all. You know, I was introduced to the system early. You know, getting caught up in the justice system woke me up early. So I've been woke a long time. So I do a lot of research into these things. So the fact that they had a waiver that you had to sign, when you sign that form, when you go in there to get the jab, the squirt, when you sign that form at the bottom, I know most people don't read the fine print. That's basically the waiver. Yep. So it is what it is, people. If you choose to not pay attention to stuff, then hey, you just one of those people that just let stuff happen to you. No, not me. Once I realized that that's what they was doing, I'm like, nah, I'm not taking it. I'd rather get COVID flu 10 times if that's the case. I'd rather for it to take me on up out of here before I volunteer. right? For experimental injection. Nope. So now, and what I think is happening, yeah, there's no protection, exactly. Um, and what I think is happening is why the courts are starting to push back because they struck down uh, Joe Byron, Joe Byron, right? The reason why they push back on the mandate is because their personal family members are urging them to start standing up against this stuff. And it's probably scaring them that, hey, look, yeah, I was on board with this stuff at first, but now it's touching my actual family. See, these judges and things, they got family members, and now their family members are part of the working class, or you know, so they're losing their jobs because they said, I don't know how true the numbers are. I heard that it was 38 million people quit or got fired. 38 million people. Now, I don't know how true that number is, but let's say it ain't 38 million. Let's say it's 20 million. That's still a lot. They refused to take it and was willing to sacrifice their employment. Plus, you got to look at the 50 to 100 million of folks who decided that they wasn't getting it. So you look at that, to look at the fact that that's a big number, and the fact that those judges' family members might have been amongst those 38 million that had to leave their job, forced out, right? And who knows, maybe some members in their family took the jab and had an adverse reaction. It's another thing to consider why they decided to start pushing back on Joe Byron's mandate. And these were Democrats, judges. So that's really saying something. You know what I mean? So these are some of the things that I've been noticing in the news lately. Um, so I don't know these next few weeks, next couple months, how it's gonna look. So the other thing they've been talking about is the the financial collapse. I've been paying attention to that, and they all keep saying the same thing. We're headed for the most severe economic collapse the world has ever seen. That's what everybody is saying, and they've been orchestrating this for the last uh, 50, 60 years to get us into this position. So this ain't no overnight thing. This thing has been just trotting along year after year for the last 50 years. So that they have us in a position where we could pretty much collapse any day. I just think they want to be able to pull the plug, but in the end, basically they want to throw a rock and hide their hands. That's what they want. They want to throw the rock, pull the plug to sink the economy, but hide their hands so they don't get the blame for it. And then to come in as the saviors. Well, we're coming in to save America, the American economy. And we're going to do that by buying up everything so they so they can finish consolidating everything, because they got the Fortune 100 or Fortune 1000 companies. So they need to buy up the middle companies and the medium to small companies need to be bought up and consolidated, either close and consolidate, because that's what they do. They'll buy up a company. Y'all probably haven't noticed, but anytime you see a merger and acquisition and merger of companies, one of them is usually phased out. And that's what they've been doing. They've been playing this game for years. Buy up a smaller company or smaller companies and phase it into one big. conglomerate, but them other companies, they phased them out, which means people lost their jobs. Management lost their jobs. Employees lost their jobs, right? And now you got these big, too big to fail companies out there. Now I've been seeing in the trucking business, these companies been buying up smaller companies, and a lot of drivers are not going for it because they have to work for smaller wages now. So a lot of them been quitting. I know when I was at the other company, they was buying up a bunch of companies, and the companies they was buying up, those drivers used to come to me, be like, "Hey man, what you think about these people?" I wouldn't say nothing. I would just shake my head, and they were like, "Oh, you ain't got to say nothing." I'll just shake my head. They were like, you ain't got to say no words, man. Just shaking your head proves what I was thinking." So a lot of them went to other companies. So now that same company where I came from, they desperate. I've been hearing that they're willing to hire me back. Ah, it's the same suckers talking all that jazz when I was over there. They wasn't necessarily talking to me, but the way I look at it is, because I got that mean disposition when I'm at work. So they look at how I act, and they were like, "Nah, he ain't for the shenanigans, so we ain't gonna even come to him with it." So they wasn't coming to me with the shenanigans, but everybody else seemed like they was coming at him with it because they want to be them go along to get along types. I'm not like that. I'm getting my check, come in the office, drop my paperwork, and I'm out. I ain't trying to sit there and have no conversation. I ain't trying to tell you what I'm doing for the weekend. I ain't trying to tell you about fishing, hunting, and rollerblading. I ain't trying to talk to them about nothing. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm dropping my paperwork off. I speak. Hello, everybody. Drop my paperwork, pick my check up, and I'm out. I would never be in the office. I don't want to hear your jokes. You dig what I'm saying? I don't want to hear none of that stuff. So I guess that's why they didn't really come to me with this stuff. But all the other guys, they were giving them the hell. They were giving them hell. And they was tolerating it. So I'm thinking like, man, shit, couldn't be me. So I think now that's the reason why I was talking to one of my guys that's still over there. He was like, man, your name came up in conversation. Now keep in mind, I've been gone like 7 months now. I left in May. Was it June? May or June was the when I left. I think it's the end of May. So I've been over here like going on 7 months, 8 months. So I'm like, yeah, 7 months, 6 or 7 months. I've been over here. Um, Greedy, what up? What up? I see you. Um, and I'm talking to my guy that's still over there the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, man, your name came up in conversation." I'm like, "Damn, I've been gone like 6 months. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, man, they were talking about you." I'm like, "Well, shit, what did they say?" You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "They were just saying how great you was as an employee." Like, yeah, man, he was a real great employee, and they was like, they they just didn't understand why I quit the way I did. What up? What up? You was like, no, I'm back. I'm back in the divided snakes of America. Yeah, I'm back in America now. Yep, back in America. Yep. But yeah, he said they were just wondering why you quit the way you did. They thought you were happy here and you were such a great employee, and you know, he said the way they was talking, they would love to have me back. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I got to come back and make this money wise here to make. You know, where you at? Guess you have to burn them out. Yeah, man. Yeah, because right now they forced a lot of drivers to quit because some of these companies were imposing a mandate. They were trying to mandate that they get the jab. So some of these cats weren't going for it, so they end up quitting. So I don't know if they went to other companies or what these guys. I'm sure they did. So a lot of these companies are hiring. I know I've been getting job offers every day. My name is still on the job board in certain places. My resume is. And so I still been getting offers. Just that the offers I've been receiving ain't really paying a lot, but it's more. They don't know I've been in business 12 years, so um, they just sending offers my way. I get text messages and I get emails for offers. So I've seen an offer. Was it, I think yesterday they were offering me a salary, which wasn't bad. If I was just getting in the truck, and that'd be a decent salary. They was offering me $1,400 guaranteed salary every week. I was like, that ain't really bad. I thought you had your own authority. Nah, I don't want my authority. I don't need it. But you need to get, but need to get my money up to pay for insurance. Looking for a place to lease my truck to for a month for months. No, I don't have my authority. I never really wanted to get it because I could get it, but for what I'm doing, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to figure out what's your aim. What are you trying to aim to do in trucking? Yeah, you can get your own authority, but now you got to keep up with all that paperwork. You got to file all those taxes that you got to file. You got to keep up with all those licenses and all this stuff. It's a lot to deal with. Now I'm sure you can hire somebody to do it. Yeah, I'm an owner op, but I just lease my company and my truck out to a bigger company who already have established contracts and established routes, right? And so they're so desperate for drivers, they pay me handsomely to run their routes, to run their loads. And so that's what I do. And that takes a lot of that paperwork off of me. You know what I'm saying? I have to have my own authority in 2 trucks. That's what's up. I never speak against having your own authority. If you can manage it, then that's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Much respect to you. I just choose not to do it. Yeah, I know it's a lot. You ain't got to tell me. That's why I choose not to do it. Now, I can always go do it. That's why I leave that door open. I can always go do it, but at this point, I don't really need to because I'm plugged with a decent company, you know, that I'd rather not say, but I'm plugged with a decent company and they make sure that I get the bread I'm getting. So I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? This is the most money I ever made in trucking. So I'm doing great. You know what I mean? Um, and then my manager, me and him tight, we jam. You know what I'm saying? He's a melanated man. My dispatcher is a melanated man. And I ain't got to deal with no albinoid devils, even though it's, it's their company, but they off somewhere, you know what I'm saying, at headquarters. I don't get to see them. I don't have to see them. You know what I'm saying? And my manager, hell, me and him been jammed for years, and the dispatcher, I've been knowing him for years. So I don't have to deal with no no Casper the friendly ghosts at all. All I'm dealing with is melanated people. When I come in the office, I'm the only two I got to deal with, and we cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm a top producer. They make sure I get the loads I'm supposed to get. There's no favoritism. I get whatever I ask for. I get for time off when I ask. I get the loads that I ask for. They work with me no matter what. Truck breakdown, they work with me. I'm good. Are you grossing more than? Yep, I am. Yep, I'm grossing more than 6, baby. I'm not having to deal with that. That's what's up. I hate dealing with them too. That's why I left the other company I was at. I was making a little less there, but yeah, I'm doing over 6, so I'm great, man. I ain't got no complaints, and I don't be driving far. That's the other thing I like. I don't be putting in a whole lot of miles no more. Before, I think I might have been putting in about 2,500 a week. Now I put in about eh, some weeks I only put in about 1,400 miles a week. Shoot, some weeks I only put in like 700 miles a week and still grossing over six. So I'm happy. Oh, and they ain't got to deal with all that paperwork stuff. They handle a lot of that stuff for me: insurance, my plates, my IFTA, my New York sticker, my license plate, my registration, all my permits. They handle all that. I ain't got to do none of that. All I got to do is drive. So that's why I like it. And then I can have other folks over here up under me with my company. So I plan to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm loving it. I'm a stay here till I retire. Yep. Love it, love it, love it. Well, at least I'm gonna stay here as long as the money is here. But I don't know if they pull the plug on America. How is they gonna look for the trucking industry, the logistics industry as a whole? How's it gonna look when they pull the economic plug? How's it gonna affect us? Because I know the housing market gonna crash. They plan on federalizing the housing system anyway, because if all these people out of work and then they pull the plug, that's going to put more people out of work. It's going to do more downsizing. More companies are going to be going out of business. There's going to be more mergers taking place. That's going to put more people out of business. So the jobless numbers are going to go through the roof. Now, I'm thinking it's not going to affect the trucking business as much because we still got to get products, and they ain't came. They promised. Look, I remember I had an argument with some chick. I forgot who it was, and she kept trying. What you gonna do when they come out with these autonomous trucks? I was like, look, don't believe the hype. They are freaking decades away from autonomous trucks. I don't care what they say. They they getting folks to finance it and to put up investment money to finance the study of this stuff. And yeah, they got a few of them out here, but them trucks are not completely autonomous. You still got to have a driver with them. And what set that shit back was you had a bunch of accidents that killed some people. They don't tell you all that. I know about it. I can't wait until the real estate market crash. I'm going to pick up more. Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for it to crash too. I think I'm gonna grab something too. I'm gonna grab a few joints. I'm sure waiting because when it crash, it's gonna be man, fire sale, baby. I can't wait. I can't wait. My son coming out to join me in the trucking business. So that's it's gonna be me and my son. And I'm hoping later on my nephews. If this depends on, you know, how bad the market tank and if their jobs they look because they ain't really working on real jobs. If their job is affected by the crash, then maybe I'd be able to talk them into coming into the trucking business with me. Because if I could get them to come in with me, then yeah, boy, we're gonna be looking at making some hella money, and we can grab some properties. You know what I'm saying, for cheap. Sack paper into the absolutely. But yeah. So when all them people out of work, they're not gonna be able to pay their rent. So the market gonna crash for the housing. So if they federalize it, then that means that's the bad part. They're gonna want to put people in your property for nothing if they federalize it. So I'm just trying to see how it's gonna work because we pushing back, but I don't still don't feel enough people are awake. I don't feel it because I don't see protesting. It should be protesting everywhere, and I don't really see it. And I'm in all these different places, you know, Indianapolis, St. Louis, Atlanta, Chicago, Minneapolis. Where else I've been lately? Um, Cleveland, Cincinnati, um, Orlando. I see the same thing. People just acting like business as usual. So I'm like, at what point do you start pushing back? We're basically losing the country. They're getting ready to pull the financial plug on us, and people still running around here like stuff gonna go back to normal tomorrow or something. I don't get it. But these are the type of things I be thinking about when I'm out here on the road and listening to the news while I'm driving. I have not been able to convince family members to get into trucking, even with me showing them the 40K gross in a month. Yeah, me either. Me either. Me either. And I've been doing this 12 years. They would rather work at Taco Bell and Papa John's or something. You know, I don't know what they working at, really, to be honest with you, but they don't want to do it. I don't think they're going to pull the money plug anytime soon. Now, I disagree. I disagree. I think they are going to pull it soon. I believe it's going to be in the next quarter. They either need to, if they're going to do it, they need to do it soon. It need to be the second quarter or third quarter. They need to do it before the election. And that's what all the experts are saying. Expect an economic collapse this year. Now, we'll see if they're right. I tend to believe that they're right. Now, we will see. I will be looking for certain indications. The Fed trying to come out with a digital dollar. So they're trying to cut the crypto market from up under his at the knees. Speak on it, brother. Freetown woman, what up? Yeah, they're trying to cut us off at the knees with the central bank cryptocurrency, digital dollar. So who knows how that's going to turn out? Because you figure the crypto market is worth trillions now, but guess what? The Fed is actually in a position to print money. So if they come up with a digital dollar, they can trump all of the cryptocurrency operations or projects and just cut us off at the knees, bring all them down to zero, and force us into their digital dollar. So I don't know. It's a lot of things happening right now. It's kind of hard to make heads or tails of what. It's so much happening so fast. It's like, God, dog, it's too much coming at me at once. But I'm steady investing in crypto. So, and if they do come up with some type of uh, Fed dollar, I'm gonna see if I can get in on it just to hedge my bet. You know what I mean? And if the market, as far as the real estate market, when it tanks, I'm gonna be prepared to buy up some stuff. If nothing else, buy them up and make them into Airbnbs. I don't think I want to deal with just regular tenants because the regular tenants probably ain't gonna be able to pay. So maybe I can grab a few places um, and do Airbnb, do it like that. But we shall see. In other words, I'm on the lookout. I'm looking around, trying to see what's the next shoe to drop. But it's good to see them rolling back the restrictions and the mandates and the masks and all that. But now, is that just the okey doke? You know what I'm saying? Is that just to entice us to go back to sleep? Then they turn around and hit us with something else. Whatever they hit us with, I'm gonna be prepared. You know, I'm keeping my eyes open, my ears open, and I'm listening to all these reports, and I'm checking out the news, seeing what the hell they talking about. But they gotta warn their people, and they use the propaganda dinosaur meat in order to do it with. Y'all pay attention. If you see anything happen up there in Canada, because they got to come down heavy-handed. They can't, they didn't overreach so far. They don't want to give back those gains. So they need to crush them truckers. So right now, you got to put the fear of God in them. So how are they going to do it? There's too many of them now, so you just can't come in with 300, 400 guys with sticks to try to beat them up. I don't think that's going to work. The tow truck. What I did like the tow trucks companies. They said the the police were calling the tow truck companies in Canada to get them to tow some of them trucks, and they refused. So I thought that was cool. I'm like, thank goodness. They said they could probably bring in the military to deliver goods, but the problem with that is, hell, just because they got like their version of the National Guard, all them dudes don't know how to drive trucks. You know what I mean? I bet it's only a select minority that know how to drive trucks. You see what I'm saying? So even if they brought in their version of the National Guard to deliver products to stores and places, they don't know the routes, they don't know the streets, they ain't been driving trucks, they don't know how to back the trucks up, they don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? So you expect them to just learn on the fly? That's asking a lot. Shoot, it took me a long ass time to get this shit down. You know, hey, I'm good at it now, but shit, when I first started, nah, I can't see somebody that ain't got no license being able to do what I do. Ain't no way. You looking at all kind of accidents. You looking at all kind of rollovers. You looking at all kind of hits. They're gonna be hitting stuff, crashes. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be running into buildings, knocking out bricks. I can see them tearing up docks, knocking out concrete steps. You know what I'm saying? I can see them in ditches. I can see all kind of stuff. Cause they don't know that many truck drivers in the military. It's usually only a small handful that drive heavy vehicles. I guess they could give them a crash course, but that I still see a lot of accidents, and a lot of them will be probably afraid of them big. Because normally when guys first come into that type of business industry, they're really afraid of them trucks. They can't do the automated stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what they first said. Oh, the automated gonna be out. Yeah, that was cool. And I told somebody, I remember having arguments with people telling them, like, man, y'all believe everything the news tell y'all. That's crazy that y'all believe this. I'm actually in the field, and I'm telling you, they're at least 2 to 3 decades away from having autonomous trucks on the road. By that time, I'll be retired. There's no way. That AI motherboard that they would put on one of these trucks will have to be able to compute trillions. It will have to be able to make trillions upon trillions of decisions. And they ain't nowhere near had the capability of doing that. And people were telling me, yeah, you're gonna be out of a business soon. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, they come. I read an article. I'm like, man, I don't give a damn what you read. You read a propagandist piece is what you read. You just didn't know that. I'm in the industry. I can tell you right now, they're a long way from coming up with autonomous trucks. And even if they come up with them in the next 10 years, it's still gonna need to have a driver. Because that AI may be they may come up with AI that can handle, you know, 500 billion commands. The problem is the human being can come up with we can do trillions of commands in our mind and had a radio playing and be on our phone and eating a sandwich and driving with our knee in the middle of rush hour traffic. See, that's what they don't tell y'all. They don't tell y'all that the human brain can do trillions of calculations in a second. That's what y'all don't know. I know. That's why I'm not foolish to believe all these propaganda pieces that they produce and got people putting their money, putting their life savings into these technologies, thinking that they're going to be coming out in a few years. Bullshit. Try 30 years, 20 years. For they'll feel comfortable enough to have them, and then it's still gonna have a drive. Still gotta have a drive. Yep. Because you gotta allow for friction. You gotta allow for speed, brake drag, right? And let's say somebody in front of the autonomous truck applying lipstick and drop the lipstick and hit the brake just a little bit. See? Or what if the person on their cell phone and drift into the truck's lane and another truck in the other lane, let's say the autonomous truck in the middle lane. So let's say it's a three lane highway. The autonomous truck is in the middle lane. In the fast lane is a lady on her cell phone. And in the slow lane, the right lane, is another truck side by side. And that lady on her cell phone, and she loses focus, concentration, and drifts into the lane with the autonomous truck. You see what I'm saying? Is that autonomous truck gonna be able to make the calculations that's necessary to avoid a crash in real time, going 70 miles an hour with with vehicles all around it? And even if it's slammed on the brakes, the truck behind it, are they going to be able to react fast enough to stop from hitting the back of it? See, and let's say it slams on the brake, and when it slams on the brake, right at that little spot, a truck was there before, and it dripped oil all right there, and it hits that oil slick. See, can they prevent it from jackknifing? And if it do jackknife, will they have a program already programmed into it that is going to be able to correct the jackknife? See, yeah, they ain't ready for this. They not ready. I'm telling y'all. And I seen a report not too long ago where they said this is creating this autonomous truck is harder than they thought. Even Elon Musk, the great Elon Musk, said the same thing. It's harder than he thought it was. Yeah, because they didn't think it through. They could have asked me. I could have told them. Hey, they could have paid me some money, and I could have told them. But no, they don't want to come ask the people that's actually in the industry. They don't want to ask the people who are actually out here getting it done every day. See, I could have told them, like, yeah, don't be so quick to tell people that y'all finna come out with some stuff. The stuff y'all talking about is at least 20 years away. And even when you do get it up and running, you still gonna need a driver. So it's still gonna be jobs for the driver. The truck may be able to go straight, but when it comes time for construction, detours, right? When it comes to slick roads, and when it comes to different backing maneuvers, that's when you're gonna have to employ the driver. Yep, and they probably gonna have some. That's why they're making it harder. I don't know if y'all know or not. They just implemented on Monday these new protocols for drivers. So now they're making it harder for you to get your CDL. So they're already in the process of getting ahead of it. They know that they're gonna need a smarter driver. So now they're making it where you got to have way more school to get into the industry. They started that on Monday. Yep. So that's going to keep a lot more people out, which is going to further hamper the ability for us to um, obtain and retain drivers. So for guys like me, yeah, I'm gonna get a premium salary because we we already at a shortage. They said it was around What did they say? I think they said, I heard somewhere they said like 300 to 400,000 short. I say we more like a million drivers short in this country. We're at least a million short. And now they're coming out with these new federal laws that's making it harder on the front end for you to even get in now. So that's going to further keep people out because some people can't pass the exams. I got an exam to take next week, hazmat exam, so I can renew my license. I've been studying here and there. I'm gonna study real hard this weekend, but I ain't worried. I know I'm gonna pass with flying colors. I'm not even tripping. But um, this is gonna keep wages high for people like me, that they making it harder for guys to get into the business. So I'm loving it. I feel sorry for guys that's trying to come in now. Well, I was telling my son, hey, it might be a little tougher for you to get yours, but I'm gonna work with you to help you get it. Yeah, but that's kind of some of the stuff I've been seeing in the news, people. Other than that, I can't wait to get back to the motherland, back to Africa, baby. Yeah, you know I miss it. I miss it. So I'm looking to get back over there as soon as I can, and start start looking for me some land that we can get this community built. So that's what I'm looking for now, and just work until then. Just see what developments happen over these next few months. See how things are gonna how they're gonna transpire. Are we gonna be okay, or are they gonna pull the plug? I'm still buying stuff for survival. I just bought the water purifier. Should be in my PO box when I get back in town. I paid almost $300 for it. It makes 3 gallons of purified water. I got that. And then this Friday, I'll be ordering another box of storable food, 10-year shelf life. So I'll be ordering another box this week, Friday. And then pretty much I'm going to order a box every month. Because if they do pull the trigger, who knows? They're talking about maybe the lights may be out, water may be off. So I'm going to just prepare for everything, just be ready. It won't kill me to buy an extra box of food, keep a few. Then when I go buy any canned goods, just buy a few extra ones, put it on the shelf, and just be prepared. Nothing ever happens. I can always turn around and just eat all that stuff up, you know? Yep. That way, if it collapses while I'm here, I can't get out. At least I'll be cool. But I'm making every preparation I can in the next, let's see, it's the February, the next 10 months to start making my transition to Sierra Leone, baby. I'd rather be over there doing a collapse than be over here. But who knows? But okay, people, that's an hour and a half. That's kind of like what I've been noticing. So y'all keep y'all ear to the ground, and I'll come back in a couple of days and we'll compare notes and see what they're talking about the weekend. See if we have any new developments up there in Canada. I will be watching. Y'all can look at if you want to stay abreast of what's happening up there, go to Rebel News. It's a it's like their version of Infowars, but the Canada version. It's called Rebel News. So they are basically the people who are boots on the ground that's giving you the alternative news away from the state sponsored propagandist news. So go to them, see what's happening, subscribe to their channel, and that'll keep you abreast of what's happening up there. So you know if it's ever a blackout, you'll know because they're gonna be the ones to let you know, and in that way we can be prepared for what's gonna happen next. What would be the next shoe to drop? So all right, I'm gonna get up out of here. Got to do me some sit-ups and some jumping jacks and a few push-ups. I did a few earlier, but I'm gonna do a little bit more. I didn't drive, but 5 hours or 4 hours today. So then go in here and get a little snack and then take a shower and lay it down. Got to deliver this load by 8, but I'm only 20 minutes away. So I'll get up super early, deliver, and then get my butt on back to the city. And I'll give y'all something this weekend in the city. All right. See y'all later. And hope y'all working on your Africa escape plan. Just in case we got to get up out of here, people. At least you got somewhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else was talking about that. I think that's what I'm gonna talk about on my next thing. It was like, if we gotta, if you talking about everybody keep talking about leave, we need to leave America. Where are we gonna go? See people asking that question like they don't know. We know where we going. Do your DNA ancestry, and if you come back to Sierra Leone, whatever country it comes back to, that's where you should be going. Making connections, right? Seeing what the situation is with the land or apartments or whatever, seeing what it would take to start a business or have a job there, either or. So these are the places you should be going back. If you come back to Sierra Leone, that's where you should be going. If it comes back to Liberia, that's where you should be going. If you come back to Ghana, if you come back to Nigeria, wherever your DNA comes back to, that's where you should be going to make your connections. Meet some people, network, right? So at least that way you have a place to go. So somebody else was saying on another channel, that's my answer to that. And people were like, well, you never really established nothing in America. No, some of us have. Some of us have. We have established businesses here in America. We just see the writing on the wall and we want to go somewhere else, namely where our ancestors were taken from. Okay. A lot of our ancestors was taken from there. Some of our ancestors might have been born here. I agree with both scenarios, but based off of my DNA, because I done took a 3-4 tests. My son done took 3-4 tests. Based off of the consistency of what I'm seeing on these tests, we came from West Africa. Simple as that. So, but I'm gonna jump off. Glad y'all stayed tuned, listening to me, stay with the show. I'll come back this weekend. We'll compare notes and see if we have any new developments up there in Canada or in Australia. I'll be paying close attention, and I will be bringing you all the news so we can kind of know what we need to be doing and what we need to be watching out for. But until then, peace and Black African power, baby. Holla back.